You know, we hear about AI transforming literally everything: how we work, how we travel, you name it. But what happens when that super high tech promise slams into the rugged, muddy reality of a hiking trail? Are we really using AI to chart new paths, or are we just kind of lost in a digital forest? Okay, let's get into it.
To get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number. By 2030, the market for AI in travel is expected to hit nearly $14 billion. That is a massive wave of cash and innovation. So you've got to ask, where is all that amazing technology actually going?
So, first, let's look at where AI is already a total rock star: the general travel industry. And I mean, here, it's not just some buzzword, it's a genuinely revolutionary force that's completely rewiring how we plan and book our trips.
So, how does this whole thing actually work? Well, an AI travel agent is pretty brilliant. First, it takes your big, complicated request, like plan a weekend trip to see some cool museums, and it breaks it down into simple, easy steps. Then, it uses memory to learn what you like and keep the conversation going. And finally, it actually does things. It uses tools and APIs, think of them as digital messengers, to talk to airline and hotel websites to make bookings and payments for you. And the results? They're kind of staggering. We're talking about super personalized recommendations for hotels and things to do, completely automated bookings and changes, and prices that adjust in real time. For some companies, this has cut their manual costs by 70 to 90%. It's just so much more efficient, powerful, and smart.
Okay, but this is where our story takes a sharp turn, right off the paved road. We're leaving that world of smart cities and slick booking engines and heading out into nature, where you'd think this tech could be a game changer.
But what really happens when you trade that hotel confirmation for a trail map? Does all that brilliant AI just follow you into the woods? Well, the answer, weirdly enough, is mostly no. There is a huge disconnect.
And to really get our heads around this disconnect, we need to zoom in on a specific case: a real physical trail that's practically invisible to the digital world. You can almost call it a digital ghost. So, say hello to the Stockholm Archipelago Trail. It's this gorgeous network of paths through an amazing landscape. It's publicly funded, made for everyone to enjoy. But if you try to find any useful dynamic data about it online, the kind of data an AI could actually use, you'll find next to nothing.
And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you see the actual stunning trail. It's beautiful. But on the right, you see how it's represented online: a static, dead, unclickable PDF map. All the life and beauty of the trail is just stuck inside this digital trap that no AI can make any sense of.
So, why on earth does this happen? Well, the heart of the problem is that these projects are treated like marketing campaigns, not data projects. The whole goal is just to make a pretty brochure or a PDF, not to create a living, breathing stream of information. So there are no APIs for an AI to plug into, and public money just gets burned creating these isolated, totally useless data silos.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The point of digitalization isn't to make a digital copy of a piece of paper. The real point is to create interconnected, machine-readable data that new tech, like AI, can actually use, update, and build on top of.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's not about just building a fancier app. It's about completely changing how we think about the information itself. It's all about something called open data. Yeah, the key here is building everything on what's known as the FAIR data principles. It's an acronym that stands for making data findable, accessible, interoperable, so different systems can use it, and reusable. It sounds simple, but this is the absolute key to unlocking what AI can do for things like hiking.
And this slide just shows the difference perfectly. It's night and day. On the left, you've got the problem: those static PDFs and lonely data silos. On the right, you have the solution: real-time, linked, collaborative data that a machine can actually read and understand. This is the huge shift that needs to happen before smart tourism can work out in the wild.
And hey, this isn't just theory. When the data for that Stockholm Trail was manually put onto open platforms like OpenStreetMap and Wikidata, suddenly incredible things became possible. You could analyze the trail's surface and find out that, hey, 45% of it is a narrow path. You could instantly see where all the shelters and water sources are. This is the good stuff, the granular, useful data that an AI agent absolutely loves.
So, if this is the answer, who's actually getting it right? Which countries are putting in the work and delivering that mature digital foundation that lets AI totally redefine the hiking experience?
Well, the leaders are pretty clear. Countries like Norway and Finland have poured resources into creating this kind of mature, open data infrastructure for their trails. They got it. They understood that before you can have smart tourism, you need smart data. Honestly, they're setting the bar for everyone else.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway from all of this. The future of a truly smart hiking trip doesn't start with some flashy AI chatbot. Nope. It starts with the much less glamorous but way more important work of building a solid foundation of open, accessible, and linked data. So, I guess that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Maybe we've all been so mesmerized by the power of AI that we've missed the bigger picture. Maybe the real key to the future of adventure isn't the artificial intelligence we build on top, but the simple access to information we provide at the very bottom. What do you think?